Howdy, my name is Chris Boyd. I am a Democrat running for Congress in Massachusetts 4th District in the Democratic primary 2026. Get out and vote September 1st. This is Car Time with Chris.
Paid for by Chris Boyd, Congress 2026.
I've been a teacher for my entire professional career. One of the issues that is important to me is setting our children up for success. I grew up during the Great Recession, and we relied on public programs like SNAP and like free and reduced lunch to help get us by. We were saved many times by those programs, which allowed my family to make sure that myself and my two siblings were fed, and so that we could grow up healthy and strong. And a big problem that I see today, talking about especially all the SNAP stuff that was going on last year and this year, and the funding that's not being given to these programs, I see politicians who don't care about whether our children grow up healthy and strong and don't care about the future. And when I'm talking about the future, I'm talking about our children. Because our children are the future of this country. Our job as leaders is to make sure that we show that we care about the future. When I see politicians who are refusing to fund programs like SNAP, I see politicians who don't care about our children. When I see politicians who don't want to talk about gun safety in the wake of school shootings because it's not the right time, it's too soon. When is the right time? When is soon enough? When are we allowed to talk about these things? I see politicians, when they talk about that don't care about our children. When I see politicians who would rather send money to bomb civilians and perpetuate a genocide in other countries, I don't see politicians that care about children. Our children, like we said, are the future of this country. If you want people to have children, like so many of the older generations have been talking about, if you're so concerned about funding Social Security and making sure that the older generations who have worked hard their entire life get to retire and enjoy the benefits and the fruits of their labor, if you want to support that, you need to encourage people to have children. That can be through programs like the Child Tax Credit, that can be through programs like SNAP, or programs like Universal Basic Income. We can show our families that we care about our children. When I see politicians who claim that they're pro-life and they don't even care about the child enough to support its healthy development after they're born, I don't see politicians who are pro-life. I see politicians who are pro-birth. And pro-birth doesn't mean anything, because if you're not willing to put your money where your mouth is and say, let's take some of this money that we've taken in, we take in trillions of dollars of revenue as a country every year, if we're not willing to put that money towards investing in our future, what's the point of people giving birth? So many people in my generation are afraid to have children. Yeah, because there's a lot of political turmoil and tension, and people are worried about the future and whether their children are going to survive, but because having a child is so damn expensive. If you want people in my generation to have children and you want to support the development and growth of our country, you need to show them that the government and the people of this country are willing to support them and are going to help them, and make sure that having a child is not a death sentence for your bank account. Children are expensive. Children are very expensive. If you want to ensure the growth of a business, you put money into it. You invest in it. You build systems. You hire employees. You do marketing and advertising to bring in more customers. If you are trying to develop a new product, you pour time, energy, research, and money into it to test the product and see if it works. If you want to have more children to support our growing economy, to pay taxes, to pay for these programs like Social Security, and to pay for programs like our military and our government, if you want to support the future of this country, you need to invest in it. And that investment starts with our children. You need to ensure that having a baby does not saddle new parents with tens of thousands of dollars of hospital bills. If you want our parents to have children, you have to ensure that they will have enough money to feed their children while also keeping a roof over their head, paying for utilities, making sure the child has clothes and has the resources to get started. You need to invest in that. You need to pay money. These things cost money. If you want to build up a strong economy where we have the best education system in the world and the best educated workers in the world, you have to invest in our public schools. It's not just about school choice. It's not just about making sure that children grow up healthy and strong, which is what this whole talk is about, but it's about investing in our children. I see children who come to school every day and they get to eat for the first time in almost 24 hours because they don't get food at home. And I see those same children leave at the end of the day knowing that they're not going to eat until school tomorrow. If you want our children to grow up healthy and strong, and you want them to do well in school and get good test scores and be able to contribute positively to the economy and grow up smart and healthy and strong, you have to feed them. Massachusetts universalized their free breakfast and lunch programs after the COVID pandemic, and it's done wonders for these and helped students get the nutrition they need, but it's not enough. We also need to make sure that this is happening nationwide, but we also need to make sure that programs like SNAP are filling in those gaps. We should not have families deciding whether to purchase groceries or to pay rent. We should not have families deciding between whether the parents can eat or the kids can eat, or everyone just eats a little. We should not have parents like my mother who went without meals very often, or just made herself a small bowl of rice to make sure that myself and my 2 younger siblings could eat and grow up healthy and strong. My mother should not have been forced to make those decisions. Every mother, father, and parent or guardian in this country should not be forced to make those decisions. We should not have to rely on generational wealth or working 2 jobs to fill in the blanks. We should not be telling parents that they aren't working hard enough and that they need to do better or pull themselves up by their bootstraps. Why don't we pull them up instead? We have so much money in this country. We are supposedly the richest country on the planet. We are supposedly the most powerful country on the planet. Put your money where your mouth is. Until you fund programs like these, until you show them with action and resources that you are going to support them, it doesn't mean a fucking thing. If we had people of conscience in Congress, in both parties, who were willing to say, we don't need 10 more fighter jets. Let's fund our schools instead. We don't need a brand new aircraft carrier. Let's make sure that every child in America has 3 square meals a day. We don't need to send bombs and money overseas to bomb children in other countries. Let's take all of that money from a Pentagon that can't even pass an audit and has not been able to do so for many years. Let's redirect some of that money. Let's make sure every child is supported from when they are born all the way up until they're 18. Let's invest in the future of this country, and let's show them that we are a country that cares about our future and about the children who will become our future. Massachusetts, since my birth, has shown me over and over and over again that it is a state that cares about its children. Are there problems? Are there gaps? Absolutely. Are there things that need to be fixed? You bet your butt. We need a proactive Congress willing to find the small issues that most Americans agree on. Most Americans, regardless of your political stripes, agree that children should not go hungry. And if you think that children should be going hungry because their parents don't make enough money, you. We need politicians who are willing to say, we don't need to send all of this money to Israel. We don't need to fund a secret police force to kidnap parents and children off the street. We don't need to be spending money on all these programs when our own children don't even have enough meals to survive. There's so much we could be doing that we aren't. And it just makes me sad. I'm running for Congress because I think that these are problems that we can solve. We don't need to increase taxes to solve this problem. We can fund this just with the money we have. Take some of this money from these programs that are not doing good and not bettering our society and put them where they matter. Support the future, support our children, and tell them we want you to believe in America. And we're going to show you that America cares about you. That's what we're supposed to be doing. That's why I'm running for Congress, so that we can solve these problems, so that we can work together, because most people can agree that this is a problem that needs to be solved. We should not be spending billions of dollars on a Pentagon that can't pass an audit when we could very easily be feeding our children. It's not that hard. It's really not. If you want to help spread our message and get involved and get us into Congress, go to our website, that's chrisboydma.com. Find out how you can get involved, find out how you can contribute, and let's get this problem solved.
I mean, technically we're not spending money making or promoting this video.